There are few sights as pure or as hopeful as a child lost in the world of play. Watch a baby grasp a soft, pliable teething ring, exploring its every texture with their hands and, inevitably, their mouth. See a toddler meticulously stack brightly colored blocks, their brow furrowed in concentration as they build a teetering tower. It is a portrait of pure potential, of a mind furiously at work, forging neural pathways and building the very foundations of its future. We see this and feel a sense of rightness. We are providing the tools for discovery and growth. But what if, within that perfect picture of innocence, lies a hidden threat? What if the vibrant colors, the soft textures, and the satisfying shapes of these tools for growth were simultaneously delivering an invisible payload of harmful chemicals? This is the uncomfortable truth at the heart of the slow-motion chemical time bomb ticking away in the modern toy box. This story will look past the cheerful packaging and marketing claims to investigate the industrial compounds lurking in the plastics and paints of everyday toys. More importantly, it will explore how these substances can impact the most precious and vulnerable organ of all, the developing human brain. To understand the true nature of this threat, we must first accept a critical scientific principle. Children are not simply little adults. Their bodies, and especially their brains, are fundamentally different, operating in a state of breathtakingly rapid development that makes them uniquely susceptible to chemical interference. From gestation through the first few years of life, a child's brain is a biological construction site of unmatched complexity. Trillions of neural connections are being formed, pathways are being myelinated for faster communication, and the very architecture of thought, emotion, and movement is being laid down. This period is a window of vulnerability, where the precise, timed sequence of development is exquisitely sensitive to disruption. Compounding this sensitivity is a lack of mature biological defenses. The blood-brain barrier, a specialized membrane that acts as a vigilant gatekeeper to protect the adult brain from toxins circulating in the blood, is still under construction and far more permeable in infants and young children. This means that neurotoxic chemicals, once absorbed into the body, have a much easier time crossing over and reaching the delicate, developing brain tissue. Furthermore, a child's behavior and physiology create a perfect storm for exposure. Their natural instinct to explore the world through touch and taste leads to constant hand-to-mouth activity, creating a direct ingestion route for any chemicals that leach or flake off a toy's surface. And because of their small body size, a dose of a toxic substance that might be insignificant for an adult can represent a massive, concentrated exposure for a toddler, overwhelming their still developing detoxification systems. So, what are these specific chemical culprits hiding in plain sight on the playroom floor? When we deconstruct the modern toy box, a recurring cast of characters emerges, each with a unique role in a toy's creation and a specific mode of attack on a child's developing systems. First is Lead, the classic villain of toxicology. Though heavily regulated in the United States and Europe for decades, it still appears with alarming frequency in cheap, imported toys used in paint to make colors more vibrant and durable. Lead is a potent and irreversible neurotoxin. It preferentially attacks the brain, where it can lead to a lower IQ, learning disabilities, attention deficits, and problems with impulse control. The damage is permanent. There is no safe level of lead exposure for a child. Next are phthalates, the chemicals that give soft plastic toys like rubber ducks, dolls, and squeeze toys their signature flexibility. As endocrine disruptors, they interfere with the body's hormonal system. During the critical windows of brain development, hormones act as powerful directors, guiding the growth and connection of brain cells. By mimicking or blocking these crucial signals, phthalates can alter the very architecture of the brain, with studies linking exposure to behavioral issues and developmental delays. In hard, clear plastics, the concern often shifts to bisphenol A, BPA. While public pressure has led to its removal from many baby bottles and sippy cups, it can still be found in a wide array of other plastic toys. Like phthalates, BPA is an endocrine disruptor, and a growing body of research has linked early life exposure to anxiety, hyperactivity, and impaired learning and memory in later life. Joining lead as a toxic metal is cadmium, often used as a pigment to create brilliant red, orange, and yellow colors. It is another heavy metal that attacks the nervous system and can accumulate in the body over time. Finally, even the cuddliest of stuffed animals can hide a threat. Brominated Flame Retardants, BFRs. Added to polyurethane foam, plastics, and textiles to meet flammability standards, these chemicals can easily escape from the product and settle in household dust, which children then ingest. BFRs are known to disrupt the thyroid gland, and thyroid hormones are absolutely essential for normal brain development. Interference can lead to significant and lasting cognitive and motor skill deficits. The tragedy of this chemical exposure is that its effects are rarely as dramatic as an immediate illness. The time bomb doesn't detonate with a loud bang. It leaks, slowly and silently, eroding a child's full potential in ways that are often invisible and difficult to trace back to a specific source. This is the slow-motion nature of the threat. It isn't about acute poisoning. It's about the subtle, cumulative disruption of development. This damage can manifest in 1,000 different ways. It's the child who struggles just a little bit more to focus on a book. It's the preschooler whose frustrations seem to escalate into uncontrollable tantrums more frequently than their peers. It's the student who, despite being bright and curious, can't seem to grasp a mathematical concept or sit still in class. These challenges are often attributed to personality, parenting, or genetics, while the potential contribution of a child's chemical body burden goes unconsidered. When we zoom out, we see a deeply concerning public health trend: a rising prevalence of neurodevelopmental disorders, including attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, learning disabilities, and autism spectrum disorder. While no single factor can explain this increase, and the causes are undeniably complex and multifaceted, a growing chorus of scientists, endocrinologists, and pediatric specialists is pointing to prenatal and early life exposure to environmental chemicals as a significant and potentially preventable contributing factor. They argue we may be witnessing a silent pandemic of neurodevelopmental toxicity, where the tools of modern life are inadvertently shaping the brains of the next generation in ways we are only beginning to understand. Faced with this information, the natural reaction is one of alarm. The realization that a child's most cherished companions could be sources of harm is a deeply unsettling thought. But fear is not the goal. Empowerment is. Protecting a child from these invisible threats doesn't require creating a sterile, joyless bubble. Rather, it calls for becoming a conscious consumer and a vigilant guardian, one who is armed with knowledge and ready to make intentional choices. The power to defuse this time bomb rests in your hands. Start by becoming a label detective. Look for explicit assurances like BPA-free, phthalate-free, and non-toxic paint. Whenever possible, prioritize toys made from simpler, time-tested materials. Unfinished wood, 100% natural rubber, food-grade silicone, and fabrics made from organic cotton are excellent alternatives to the vast and uncertain universe of plastics. Exercise caution with older, hand-me-down painted toys that may predate modern safety regulations, and be equally skeptical of extremely cheap, unbranded plastic items, whose low price may have been achieved by cutting corners on safety. Remember that often, simpler is better. A set of wooden blocks can spark more lasting creativity than a flashing plastic gadget, and it comes with none of the chemical baggage. Ultimately, safeguarding a child's world is not about eliminating all risk, but about thoughtfully reducing it where we can. It's about making informed decisions that honor the profound vulnerability of a developing brain. By choosing toys with care, we do more than just prevent exposure to a list of chemicals. We defend the very essence of childhood, a safe, wondrous space where the imagination can flourish and a child's incredible potential can unfold, untainted and unlimited.